Good day, everybody. This is Yin Yang in California with Morsels of a Thought number 1610. I have been here this many days in a row giving you morsels of a thought, preferably of wisdom. And when we talk about wisdom, knowing the right thing to do is a form of wisdom. Doing the right thing is called virtue. And we also want to avoid the wrong pitfalls. And we want to entertain you a little. I want to inspire you to have a great day today. And we're going to impart some stuff, educate ourselves with very wise people's knowledge. All right, so today we are in Brain Rescue by Dr. Brody Miller, a 90-day blueprint to reclaim your memory after a brain injury or concussion. And John Assaraf, two-time New York best-selling author, wrote, Brain Rescue is a life-changing guide packed with cutting-edge neuroscience. It's a beacon of hope. Now, Dr. Miller had an injury that was so bad. It was life-threatening injury to his brain, and he came up with all of this, and he got his PhD. Oh boy, that's a lot. I met his wife, Rocio Miller, and she's a beautiful woman. Oh my God, wow, I was standing there and I saw this really, really stunning woman, and I was just thinking, boy, men would like her. And then she came up and talked to me too. So we chatted a little, and then it comes to bear that, wow, Dr. Miller, her husband, has written this book, and it is so befitting to me and my crowd because I have had brain injuries, many brain injuries, including chemical kinds of brain injuries, where I had even a single word would cause me to have an electric shock go through my body. So I don't know if it's called epileptic or whatever. But I had that for 70 days when I was 34. And it was a nasty time. If I had had this book at that time, I think I would have felt better. Definitely would have done better too. Probably couldn't have been 70 days. Goodness gracious. So at this moment, we are on page 57. This is a chapter where we prioritize okay, 3 tips to help regulate blood glucose levels. Prioritize high fiber foods, balance carbohydrates with protein and fat, watch portion sizes and lower sugar consumption levels, and then delicious and nutritious brain health foods here. We've gone through a list, and it was a list of healthy fats and brain repairing proteins. There were 5 items there. Green powerhouses, there were 4 items there mentioned. Essential herbs, spices, and superfoods, there were 6 items mentioned. Detoxifying and sulfur-rich foods for brain health, there were 6 items mentioned. And then hydrating and healing beverages, 3 of them. And then foods to avoid or eliminate for optimal brain health. Processed and packaged foods, we had 3 on the list. Refined carbohydrates, there were 2 on the list. High sugar foods and drinks, there were 3 on the list. Unhealthy fats, there were 2 kinds mentioned. Foods high in omega-6 fatty acids to avoid. Avoid high sodium foods, 2 of them. 2 kinds. Avoid artificial additives and preservatives, 2 kinds. Avoid alcohol and caffeine, which is where we stopped. We talked about excessive alcohol, and now we're going to say with high caffeine drinks you want to avoid. While moderate caffeine may be fine, says the author, excessive amounts can lead to anxiety and disrupt sleep, which is crucial for brain recovery. Wow, that's important. I take naps now, and I'm pretty sure caffeine would affect that too if you happen to need naps or if that's part of your regimen. Potentially allergenic foods, avoid those that are gluten. For those with gluten sensitivity or celiac disease, gluten can cause inflammation and cognitive issues. Dairy, many modern day dairy products and source can lead to digestive issues that can impact overall health and brain function. Take action. It's as easy as ABC 1, 2, 3. Number 1, make your brain power grocery list. Write down nutrients from the delicious and nutritious brain foods list from above. Prioritize whole, organic, fresh, and nutrient-rich foods. Number 2, shop and stock up. Head to the store, pick up your items, and avoid the middle aisles that are full of processed foods. Fill your cart with foods that are proven to fuel your brain. Number 3, prep and commit. Prepare your food and cook them. Having brain healthy options ready makes it easier to stay on track. Note, do not get discouraged if these foods are not available in your country or region. Do your best with the resources you have. Okay, page 58. Bonus, cut the CRAP. Carbonated drinks, refined sugars, artificial colors, and processed products. CRAP, carbonated, refined, artificial, processed. No excuses. That's what he says. No excuses. In these early days of recovery, every bite counts. Your brain needs the right tools to rebuild itself, and the best tools are high quality nutrients. Imagine the difference between stumbling through recovery or getting your memory and clarity back with each meal. This is your first step to nourishing your brain for recovery. You've got this. The fourth step is O for observe, because right now we are in the chapter that is REFOCUS. Let's see, chapter 4. Okay, the fourth step is O for observe. John Assaraf said, there's only one thing that differentiates you, me, and anyone else from a horse or a pig, and that is choice. Ugh. Imagine if every thought you had, every habit you practiced, could either trap you in your current reality or help unlock crystal clear mental clarity. Self observation is the key that opens the door to this transformation. By observing your thoughts, beliefs, emotions, actions, behaviors, and habits without judgment, you build awareness, the first foundational step for lasting change. Awareness gives us the ability to make new choices. Living life as a human being can be both a blessing and a curse. We are our own best friend and worst enemy at times because of the size of our neocortex, outer layer of the brain, neocortex. Because of the size of our neocortex, outer layer of the brain, we can make our thoughts as real as the outside world. In other words, we have an astounding ability to imagine. The great thing is that we can imagine ourselves doing incredible things like speaking in front of a crowd of thousands, making love to our soulmate, or hitting the game winning shot. But at the same time, we also can get stressed out by thinking about 401ks, the stock market, or second mortgages. Society has programmed us to think that practicing imagination is a waste of time. I am going to prove to you that this is one of the greatest lies we have ever been told. Now, I would love to refer to you incredible experiment now, I would love to refer to you an incredible experiment to one of my favorite studies of all time, where scientists wanted to see how the brain changes through imagination. So we are in Morsels of a Thought of Wisdom. When we come back, we go to Here's What They Did. In Morsels of a Thought of Wisdom, we're talking about Brain Rescue by Dr. Brody Miller, PhD, a 90-day blueprint to reclaim your memory after a brain injury or concussion. Here's what they did. The scientists wanted to see how the brain changes through imagination. Here's what they did. They gathered two groups. One group physically practiced a 5-finger piano exercise. The other group only imagined doing the 5-finger exercise but didn't touch the piano. Both repeated the exercise for 2 hours a day over a 5-day time span. What they found is that both experienced similar cortical changes in the motor regions of the brain, even though group 2 only imagined playing. In other words, the part of the brain that controls the movement of fingers got stronger and easier to activate in both groups. The big difference, the group that physically played the piano had bigger changes in their brain and learned the skill faster naturally, but the group that only imagined it still showed brain improvement, just not as much. There's a footnote there. Let that sink in, couch potatoes. This one is for you. This proves that visualization can prepare your brain for real world action. Imagine the potential for memory improvement by visualizing tasks. You can strengthen neural pathways, improve focus, and train your brain all without lifting a finger. But visualization is just the start. Strengthening your brain through self observation is equally powerful. This process, known as metacognition allows you to think about your thinking, becoming aware of your thoughts and observing your own behaviors from a higher perspective. Practicing it allows blood flow to travel to our prefrontal cortex, which is responsible for higher order thinking and decision making. Begin to observe yourself from a bird's third eye perspective. In doing so, you will naturally strengthen your memory, attention, and focus. Boom, chakalaka. He wrote that. Powerful ways to practice self observation. There are three. Breathing. When you find yourself triggered from a life event, wanting to impulsively take an action or even blurt out a random word, immediately pause and take a deep breath. This simple act disrupts the pattern, helping you regain focus and center yourself. Repeating this will increase your awareness in all aspects of life. Journaling. Write down your thoughts. Journaling allows you to spot patterns, triggers, and habits that may need to be changed, helping to improve self awareness over time. Imagine. Imagine yourself as an observer, watching your life from above like an eagle. This perspective helps you detach from emotions, see things more clearly, and shift your mindset. Repetition sharpens your ability to be present and aware. Present and aware. I have to say, I went to a workshop once and it was reminiscent of something at Esalen. I don't know what that is even. I'm too young for that, but I have heard of it. And in this workshop, it took 4 days or 3 days or something. And at the end, my own lesson to myself was that I needed to learn to be present and aware. And that was my exercise, which I took maybe 12 days to figure out in the end. I went back. But it was just a workshop. I don't want to mention it because the rest of it wasn't that good. However, that apparently relates to my brain health. I didn't know that before. Do you have a happy place? Have you ever seen Happy Gilmore? There's a hysterical moment in the movie where Happy, the main character, is letting his emotions derail his focus. Shooter McGavin, his rival, is in his head, taunting him and throwing him off his game. Happy's frustration builds, his temper flares, and his performance tanks. Then his trainer and cabbie Chubbs takes him to a mini golf course to work on his concentration, but even there, Happy's anger keeps boiling over and he struggles to stay composed. That's when Chubbs gives him some transformative advice. Think of a place that's perfect, your own happy place. Go there and all your anger will disappear. At first, Happy scoffs, but then he closes his eyes and starts to visualize. Mystical music plays, and Happy sees a bright, sunny day. In his mind's eye, his girlfriend is holding two frosty mugs of beer, smiling at him. Then his grandmother hits the jackpot on a slot machine, coins cascading everywhere. Happy even sees a dwarf riding a tricycle. Whatever makes you happy, I guess. Happy with a capital H. For Happy, this is his own private happy place, quote end quote, that becomes a sanctuary, a mental retreat that shifts his focus, calms his emotions, and allows him to perform at his best. In your recovery journey, finding your own happy place, quote end quote, is just as crucial. Visualization and observation are powerful tools for rewiring your brain and refocusing your thoughts. By observing your inner state and shifting to a positive mental image, you can quiet the noise, manage frustration, and stay on track toward your goals. If Happy can retrain his brain to refocus, then so can you, my friend, says Brody Miller. Go to your happy place in 3 steps. Now, we're going to go to our happy place. Now, in Morsels of a Thought of Wisdom, we are trying to entertain you, inspire you to have a great day, and give you little thoughts of wisdom that you can use to create virtue in the world. Doing the right thing is virtue, and we're going to make this world a more virtuous place, because when we take care of ourselves, we also make the world better because we are more well equipped to do good things for others. Okay, now go to your happy place in 3 steps. Number 1, pick it. Think of a fun or calming place like a beach, a candy store, or even somewhere with a dwarf on a tricycle. Whatever comes up for you that makes you happy. Number 2, picture it. Close your eyes, take a deep breath, and imagine you're there. See it, hear it, feel it, smell it, touch it. Make it as real as possible in your mind. 3, use it. When you're stressed, say, happy place, here I come. Close your eyes, breathe, and let the calm take over. It takes a little while. You can take a few minutes, like 20 minutes or something, to go through all that and think of when you were in a setting that was safe for yourself. Is the setting safe? Is the uh is the mood happy when you're there in the safe setting? And you can imagine what's going on there that makes you happy, whatever makes you happy. Okay. The journey, the author says, the journey to a better brain and a happier life starts now. Okay. Next, the 5th step is C, for consistency. Eileen Wilder said, procrastination is the assassination of your destination. Oh, wow. Pro means for, cross means tomorrow, teneo means holding in the hand. In Latin, the word procrastination means holding over for tomorrow. Get it? Procrastination, pro for tomorrow. Da, da, da. You know, uh, when I was a child, I spoke Spanish because my babysitter was from Nicaragua. And I would go home and say something, and my mother would want me to do something, and I'd say, I want to do that mañana. And my mother was very puzzled. So she went and asked my babysitter, what does mañana mean? And she said, it means tomorrow. So apparently, when I was a child, I said to her, I want to do it tomorrow. In other words, I don't want to do it now. Mañana. Hasta. Whatever. Consistency, the author says, consistency, consistency, consistency. Let me say it one more time because it's the backbone of everything. Consistency. Let me make this crystal clear. If you want to truly get your life back to remember names, stay sharp in conversations, and feel clear headed again, consistency is the key to unlocking these outcomes. Consistency is how you take procrastination by the neck and knock it out. cold, like a Mike Tyson super punch. Ultimately, in recovery, you're not just working to repair your brain, you're rebuilding your freedom and future. If you want your brain to function like it's supposed to, you need to make consistency your new religion. It's not negotiable. You don't just wake up one day and have everything fixed after a brain injury. You've had a brain injury, and that means parts of your brain, especially the areas responsible for memory, have been damaged. But here's the good news. Your brain can rebuild itself. That's called neuroplasticity. And the secret to unlocking it, you guessed it, consistency. Do you want your brain to heal? Then you better show up for it every damn day. Look at your brain injury like a damaged house after got hit by a hurricane. You don't fix it by throwing down a little patchwork here and there or working on a bit of it once a week. No, you rebuild that house brick by brick, layer by layer, day in and day out. Think of every consistent day as adding another brick to the foundation of your recovery. Some days you lay a single brick. Other days you might finish a whole wall. But every single day of work counts to rebuild your brain to become stronger and more resilient than before. That's how you heal your brain. This is how that's how you heal your brain after an injury. Consistent effort rewires your neural pathways, making your memory stronger, sharper, and more resilient. Get obsessed with consistency. Consistency is perhaps the most important concept in this entire book that you need to embody. It is one of the most immovable forces in the entire universe. Everyone is consistent in some way, believe it or not. For example, Yin Yang has come here 1,610 days in a row. It's not taxing, fortunately, otherwise, I couldn't have done it. However, anyway, back to the author. Everyone is consistent in some way, believe it or not. Most people are great complainers, blamers, shamers, and finger pointers. Don't be like most people. Your brain craves routine for its memory. When you put in the work day after day, your brain starts adapting. When I was having that brain injury that I had, the chemical one, I was very glad that I was a creature of habit. I took out the garbage every day, and it was like I was in a different layer of my consciousness. I would go, "Oh, I have to take out the garbage now," and I would do it, and then I'd go downstairs, and then I'd go up the stairs, and I said to myself, "Whew, thank goodness for this habit being in my routine," because while I was sick, I could have, if I hadn't had that habit making me go, I could not have thought of it. I was in that much pain. Um, well, pain. Um, okay. Your brain craves routine for its memory. When you put in the work day after day, your brain starts adapting. You're training it to rebuild itself. You want a better memory? You want to eliminate brain fog? Consistency is how you do it. Look how the sun consistently, day after day, comes up and keeps burning. Look at nature. The sun doesn't just rise every other day, does it? It shows up every single day without fail, burning with the same intensity whether anyone's watching or not. That's what you need to be: unstoppable, immovable, like gravity itself. Consistency is the most powerful force in the universe, and when you harness it, nothing can stop you. And next week, when we come back, we are going to go to two important steps in this process. We are in We are on page 63 of Brain Rescue by Dr. Brody Miller, PhD, a 90-day blueprint to reclaim your memory after a brain injury or concussion. So I will talk to you again later, and I hope you have a wonderful day. Okay, old Kinderhook.